Hello, viewers, and welcome to Science TV. You are with me, Ben Werangai, and that is my sign name. Today, I'm going to tell you a little history about Saba Saba. In 1978, Daniel Arap Moi inherited the presidency of Kenya from the former president Jomo Kenyatta. But what began as a transition soon turned into a chilling era of repression. Moi perfected the art of a police state where fear became the currency of everyday life. Intellectuals, politicians, lawyers, students, writers, workers, and peasants, no one was safe from the former president Daniel Arap Moi's systematic attacks. Now, according to news reports, hundreds were rounded up, tortured in the basements of Nyayo House, and condemned to lengthy prison terms by the so-called kangaroo courts that were held in the dead of the night. Many, fearing for their lives and livelihoods, were forced to flee the country. But even in the darkest of times, resistance flickered. A courageous group of parliamentarian backbenchers, famously labeled the Seven Bearded Sisters by then Attorney General Charles Njonjo, dared to speak out. Names like Abuya Abuya, Onyango Midika, Mwashengu wa Mwachofi, James Orengo, Lawrence Sifuna, Chibule Wasuma, and Koigi wa Wamware became the symbols of defiance. Now, though Moi tried to muzzle parliament and even arrested politicians within its hallowed grounds, the spirits of resistance thrived outside. Valiant Democrats like George Anyona, Chelagat Mutai, and Wasike Ndobi kept the system on its toes. Then a turning point. On June 6, 1990, two respected political figures, that Kenneth Matiba and Charles Rubia, announced their audacious plan, a public meeting, a Kamkunji in Nairobi on 7th July to demand the return of multi-partyism in Kenya. The government's response was swift and brutal. On July 4th, the meeting was banned, and Matiba and Rubia were arrested. Their lawyer, John Kamwinwa, was detained for simply trying to visit them. Soon after, more human rights lawyers, Gitobu Imanyara and Gibson Kamau Kuria, were seized, along with the rising political star Raila Amolo Odinga. The call for a second liberation echoed across the nation. On November 16, 1991, a defining moment, Martin Shikuku, James Orengo, Philip Gashoka, and Rumba Kinuthia rode through the streets on a Toyota pickup, flashing V-shaped signs, making their way to the historic grounds of Kamkunji in Eastlands, a place synonymous with freedom since the colonial times. Security forces, hopelessly outdone, hurled tear gas and opened fire, but they couldn't stop the cheering wananchi. On December 2nd, 1991, Moi finally relented. Multi-partyism was reinstated and 19 new political parties were registered. Today, July 7th, marks the 35th anniversary of that pivotal day, forever etched in Kenya's history as the Saba Saba Day. It is remembered as the day nationwide protests erupted at Kamkunji grounds demanding free elections. Though the initial organizers like Matiba and Rubia were arrested, and others like Njeru Gathangu, John Kamwina, Gitobu Imanyara, George Anyora, and Raila Odinga all faced brutality and detention. Their courage sparked a national movement that ultimately forced the government to repeal Section 2A of the Constitution, leading to the reintroduction of multi-party democracy. The struggle continues. In present-day Kenya, Saba Saba has taken on a renewed meaning. Today, human rights groups and the Gen Zs took to the streets across the country demanding good governance, respect for democracy, and an end to police brutality and extrajudicial killings. Saba Saba Day in Kenya is a powerful reminder of our nation's journey toward justice and freedom. Yet, for persons with disabilities, participating in this significant day means far more than just joining a crowd. It's about meaningful engagement that champions person well-being and safety above all. Now, as you navigate this important day, first, ensure you have a secure and accessible space. Whether it's the comfort of your own home or a trusted friend's place, make sure it's not just physically accessible with ramps and clear pathways, but also a calm and supportive environment where you feel safe. Currently, parts of the country are engulfed in smoke and tension, with groups of protesters lighting bonfires and blocking the roads. There's also a heavy police presence across the country. These protests have already disrupted transport and have forced the closure of businesses in some towns. Despite Interior Cabinet Secretary Kipchumba Murkomen's warning against property and destruction and his call for police professionalism, and the Deputy Inspector General Gilbert Masengeli's claims that everything is normal in Nairobi, the deserted streets and widespread business closures tell a different story. The roadblocks, absence of public transport, and the closed businesses in many areas reflect the growing caution and fear surrounding Saba Saba commemorations this year. Finally, while staying informed is important, carefully consider how you consume the news. Opt for reliable, accessible sources like news with sign language interpretation, captioned videos, or audio descriptions. Avoid overwhelming yourself with constant, potentially graphic updates that might cause you distress.